Welcome back, everyone. Today, I actually wanted to take a look at the Simpsons Hit and Run game remastered, if you weren't already aware from the thumbnail. But the original game was released back in 2003, so it was pretty outdated, and it kind of still is, covering it today in 2022. And you can only imagine that the graphics were absolute butt cheeks back then, and they kind of still are. Though, if we set aside the visuals, the game was fun, right? I really enjoyed it. I mean, there's something weird about playing as a Simpsons character and going through these like wacky missions. And when I went back and counted all the missions, there were actually 49 of them. But some I didn't really remember, but the ones that were really memorable to me that immediately came to mind when I saw them were Bart and Frank Redneck Roundup, where you get to drive Marge's Canyonero around that like big red SUV thing, and Alien Autopsy. 1 through 3. I think I spent way too much time trying to complete the alien autopsy missions. If I'm being honest, I grinded the crap out of them for absolutely no reason, just because I couldn't get them completed. I think I had the most trouble on the final one, the third version of it. But I didn't really get around to play this game until I was in high school, like around 2011 or something like that. And even then, the graphics were still kind of butt cheeks if I compared it to some of the other games that were already out and kind of popular. But recently, an absolute Chad by the name of Reubs on YouTube, I hope I pronounced that right because it's kind of weird, he released a video called How I Remade the Simpsons Hit and Run in a Week. Now, this was back in August 2021, where he remastered the entire game, and he also included RTX. Yeah, you heard that right, RTX. But that was it. There was nothing else for the next 11 months. And when I was looking through his channel, there were a wide variety of games that he typically remasters. So I figured that it was just it, you know? It was a one-time deal and he had moved on to other projects. I will admit, I was pretty disappointed. Then, 3 weeks ago, he hit us with an absolute banger video called Remaking the Simpsons Hit and Run, but it's open world, where he walks us through his entire process of remaking the entire game again, but from scratch. So what he had already completed in the previous video, he kind of trashed and remade it, but making it open world. So you're able to explore the entire map without having certain parts closed off or requiring you to load from area to area just so the game engine doesn't crash. And this was typical back then. The game engines weren't sophisticated enough as the ones that we have now, like Unreal Engine 5. So you couldn't just have the entire map open all at once without it crashing or being limited by the hardware at the time, because the PS2 was kind of crappy and it couldn't really do much in terms of hardware. So in this video, he also added the GTA 5 camera effect when you switch character, you know, the thing where you kind of just switch from one character to another and it pulls you from ground up and then kind of drops you into the next character. It's not original, and I know it's not true to the original game, but it's a nice addition, and considering this is a remaster, you would like new quality of life features to make the game a little bit just nice, right? Pleasing to the eye and a little bit more interesting from the original. Then 8 days ago, he dropped We Have Vehicles Remaking Hit and Run number 2. The latest update he's put out, he updated the vehicles and included the rocket car that exploded if it touched anything. Love that car. He also updated with the way they function. So he made sure that all the doors worked. He made sure that the cars drove and didn't really crash through the map. He updated a bunch of things, including the visuals of the cars. The old outdated models weren't going to cut it for the new updated version of the game. So he really went back and redid all the cars from scratch, as well as mentioning that he's going to update the sounds later on in some other iteration of his update to this game. It's nice to see that he's going back and really doing this game right for the players and really just going in depth and making it as best as possible. Needless to say, it's an impressive remaster. I was actually excited to make this video and see the game revived and feel the nostalgia. This was one of my favorite games that I grinded for no reason, like I mentioned, but it was, you know, part of my gaming experience, so I really loved this game. But there's one catch after covering all this information that I just gave you guys. At the start of his latest 2 videos, he mentions that the game will never be available for public download, which is a bit of a bummer if I'm being honest. Regardless of it never being out for download, it was still nice to see it be revived on the latest game engine that we have available at the moment. Hopefully one day he'll release the game for everyone to play, and if he does, then I'll be the first in line to download it. I thought it was a good game to cover. Maybe I'll do a deep dive into the actual game at some point. I just need to buy the adapter. It was nice to revisit this masterpiece again, but if you guys want to see me cover this game in its entirety, do let me know in the comment sections. I would love to do that, but if not, then I'll just play it on my own and drop it some other time. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and let me know if you played the original game, and if so, what did you think of the remaster? What were some of the interesting parts to you, or what stood out to you the most? Well, that's all I've got for you. Check out some of these other videos if you enjoyed my content. See you guys in the next one. Bye.